Sri, we are on the dot. Maybe we should get started while others join in.
I think could we wait for 2 more minutes? I'm just sending a reminder to my customers. Two, three customers are keen to join, so just give them a reminder. Okay, just 2 minutes.
For everyone else on the call, I'm just wanted to check. Did you get a reminder today? Maybe about 5-10 minutes back, and yesterday one reminder to join the call today.
Yes.
If someone can. Okay, super. Thank you. Thanks, Srinivas.
Okay, I think time to start. With due respect to people who have joined earlier, I think people will keep joining as and when as the meeting starts. Okay, so good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining this year's 2024's first Finance SAG session. And I just want to say, start with saying thank you for all the support that you guys gave in 2023. We are able to conduct around 10 sessions with the different topics, and there were multiple presenters from SAP, from customers, from partners, and each and every topic was taken up very seriously, and it was very very interactive sessions. And the feedback that we got in the recently concluded CSCom in Bangalore last week was that we need to continue with multiple SAG sessions, not just limiting to one per month, but since the topics are more, probably we could have a very frequent sessions. More from a customer's point of view, more from partner side, and SAP anchoring it with the new age topics like business AI, BTP, etc. Okay. We would closely work with Mukesh. Thank you, Mukesh, for setting up this platform, plus also running the community, and the portal. I think going forward, the portal will be the platform with which we could able to interact more actively. I expect a lot of active participation from many of us in the portal, so that it becomes vibrant and keenly knowledge sharing platform for the future. Okay, and saying so, this is the first topic of the year. I would like to invite Nyanasekaran and Rangan from SAP Labs to take up this topic called as the Advanced Financial Close, being a very time-sensitive topic. We wanted to take up this session so that you can take back to your respective CAOs and CFOs how best you could able to either use this AFC, or if you don't have AFC as part of your bill of material, you can go back and find out how you could able to take it up in the next coming years. Okay, before I hand over to Nyana, probably I'm not sure who are all new. Many of the people know me. In the new 2024, I'm continuing the same role as last year. I'm going to lead the Finance SAG, plus also the Center of Excellence for Finance and Risk for Market India, and with additional responsibilities coming from BTP and Business AI for the next 11 months. Mukesh, before we hand over to Nyana, you have good words from you because people there are, you got a lot of followers in the social media. Plus, your thought-provoking articles, create a lot of positive vibes in all of us. So before we start, a good words from you to set the context. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Srini. I think we are at the cusp of a revolution, if I may say so, with the entire artificial intelligence and all the different tools that are enabled by artificial intelligence coming into picture. You will find that it is more pertinent to the finance community simply because of the fact that a lot of what the finance community does, whether it is maintaining the books, whether it is the closing activities, whether it is doing the planning, whether it is forecasting, whether it is ensuring that there is compliance, all of that are going to be significantly impacted by uh, different AI tools. And we are at a point in time where we have to reimagine how the function of finance is going to reinvent itself. I mean, of course, this is true for all functions, but especially true for finance as a function. And I'm super glad and excited to be part of the journey and learning alongside all of you guys to explore and understand what the new finance function would look like and what all technology can be deployed to not only make work easier, simpler, faster, but also what can we do more, much more that we couldn't do earlier because of limitations of technology. So I strongly believe that technology works well when it is used to augment what we are doing rather than replace. I mean, cost cutting through technology is a very short term and myopic view. Uh, Enabling new capabilities using technology is probably the longer term and a much more sustainable view. So I hope and wish all of you that you look at technology and look at what it can enable you to do, which you were not earlier able to do, and therefore significantly improve your bottom line, significantly improve your processes, and also bring value to your business. So with that, I'm super happy to hear, Sri, that we want to do a lot more. My humble request to all of you on the call right now, if you have not joined the community, please do join. I'll share the link here. In maybe a couple of weeks, we will stop the WhatsApp groups. All conversations and communities will need to happen on the Indus Online platform. So please do join and register. And I'm looking forward to an interesting conversation today. Over to you, Sri and Jnana.
Thanks, Mukesh. Once again, you've given a right context at the cusp of digital and finance getting hands together. Um, this year looks very promising with a lot of AI getting as part of the transaction. So we look forward for many conversation with customers and partners on co-learning together. Actually, okay. Saying this, I just want to hand over to Niana. Niana, if you can able to give a short introduction about yourself and what you do in SAP Labs, and take us through this interesting topic for the immense benefit of our SAP users. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining and giving this opportunity to take you forward for the innovative close, which we delivered part of our SAP new innovation and sustainability areas. And yeah, before we go, what we are living in a troubled world. We don't know where we are getting in trouble. It may be through pandemic, or suddenly war is getting influenced, and some other things like we are getting hit by the interest rates and inflation also coming and hit on our day-to-day life. With that, we cannot predict. It's for individual life is like that itself. How we are going to face a business which deals with a bigger society at volume is very large. So they are also having a more amount of trouble with multiple ways, and also there is a tremendous changes in the technology. That's what Mukesh also highlighted, because there may be a small thing we might be knowing that whoever uses iPhone 16, the speed of that iPhone 16 that memory say that the nano sim, which has a speed which is equivalent to 1974 entire computing world. So we see by this, what I want to say is that where we grown, where the advancement is gone. So by keeping with these things in mind, how we cater the customer need, how we need to provide a solution to the customer to overcome the problems faced by the technology changer and use the technology for the business benefit. That's the one thing we are doing continuously to our customers by way of innovating and spending a lot of money towards R&D. That's where the concept of Gen AI and IRPA and automations, all those things are now, you can see frequently you're hearing from all our SAP talks and other stuffs. And also the speed, because speed in which the technology getting changed also very, very drastically getting changed. We need to adapt to that speed and change ourselves to meet the need of our day-to-day life or day-to-day business life. And the next thing is that what we are going to give the insights. The CFO officers needs to get a proper insights at operational level or compliance level or technology change level, security level. They have to get insights and adapt the changes very quickly without having interference from the multiple ways. By all those things keeping in mind, SAP is investing money towards the innovative, intelligent, sustainable, and future focused. This we are doing on the out of that contest only. We have a topic today that is called SAP Advanced Financial Closing. It is built on the BTP. BTP means you know that it's a business technology platform. What does it mean? Maybe I'll give some brief background, maybe a 30 seconds on that, because many days we hear what is BTP, what is BTP, what is BTP. No, it's not a new word. It's a kind of a word which is hailed from our SAP cloud platform. What it is going to give is it's a best of breed, means how the technology is developed or the platforms are developed in SAP is that in the day ages we use that ABAP. ABAP is generally works on the C++ or Java. These are the language which used to build the ABAP thing, and also it uses the SQL database to build. Just high level, it's not a core ABAP. Don't think in that way. When that comes into picture now, because advancement happens, because more amount of Java has been used and other technologies have been used. By considering all the advancement in the new languages, I mean to say the coding languages or a program languages has been developed a lot in the world. So SAP, what it did, it adapts all the best of breed in the world and bring into the clean core platform that is called the BTP. So multiple languages can be used to build our solution. That's a simple thing. Maybe all good part of the languages has been used and it's integrated and sustainable, etc. also come. So that's about the BTP. Out of that BTP only, we developed a new solution, advanced financial closing. Why I say the BTP is that, yes, for closing cockpit, we have many tools from ages. Initially, we have a Solman, the solution builder, that SCMA concept, where we can define our jobs and execute the process. That's an old one. After that, SAP has come up with a new solution, the other solution called financial closing cockpit. And that also went for a versions, then add-on thing has come. It supports with on-prem customers. And now we are going for a new solution called the new and strategic solution that is called the AFC. It's built on the BTP. So what it is going to give different from other is that's why it's so told it's built on the BTP. More amount of future innovation is going to happen on this solution only. We are not going to invest any amount of investment in the old FCCs and old SCMA concept, etc. So this is our strategic solution for the closing monitoring process, and more amount of automation also going to come, and integration is going to be very easy and flexible. All those things going to happen on this tool. Okay, the who are new to this AFC, what AFC does? AFC is a tool which will help the business to monitor the closing process. During the month close, we have to define, we have to perform or monitor and take action on the specific process. The closing activity in a typical industry starts on the last 25th or 26th of the current month, and a series of activity needs to be performed and followed up, and confirmation needs to be get. Then it will end up to the next month 5th of the next 5 days of the next month or a 5th of the next month. So almost 8 to 10 days has been spent towards the closing monitoring. After that, the finance department need to go for closing the books of accounts and get approval, then submit to the board. By this time, lot of time has been spent towards the closing itself. Then after that, management and board of directors do not have time to make a decision. May delay the decision. It also leads the cost, and you cannot compete with the competition, etc. will happen. So to overcome this issue only, SAP has come up with a solution that is called financial closing cockpit in the earlier world. Now it will call it as a advanced financial closing. So here you can see that this will answer most of your question, what you can see in the screen. Who is in charge for what? Who is responsible for depreciation? Who is responsible for opening the period? Who is responsible for the running a cost estimate? This will answer if you use the AFC closing. And who is running what? Who will run the program, specific background program run by who? Whether he has run or not, whether he is running in time, whether it gone for error, it needs approval or not. Those things and all can be monitored. It will answer the question of who runs what. And also in which sequence we can run, and how customer or a corporate can benefit. This can be answered by using this AFC tool. How it is going to do that is that we need to prepare a closing calendar from the day one. Day one means starts on 26, assume it. From day one, what activity needs to be performed. So we need to prepare a closing calendar, and it will go by the sequencing. That means it should have some predecessor activity and followed on activity, then successor. Like this, we need to prepare a sequencing of activities. So it will help us to run the activity with dependency. So it will not delay due to that. And somewhere there also needs some manual activity needs to be involved in between. Few things will happen in the system. Apart from that, some amount of manual intervention also is required. That also we can monitor and create one of the manual tasks in the system when you use the AFC tool. And like I said earlier, few activity needs closing, the approval before we close, like payments, period opening, cost estimate release, because these are all involved in the monetary terms. The inventory valuation, if you release it, the gain on the inventory valuation or loss on inventory valuation needs to get some approval because it hit our balance sheet, P&L. So bottom line also will get affected. So approval also can be monitored here. And there are customers who uses multiple systems like S4HANA, on-prem S4HANA, public cloud S4HANA, old ECC SAP systems and non-SAP systems. This and all can be connected with AFC. So it also answers this across system question as well. So really it's error prone, time consuming monitoring will be huge. So to overcome all those issues only, SAP has come up with the closing cockpit solutions. Okay, do you have any question here? Because if we understand here, then remaining will be very easy. More than a slides, I will jump on to the system to give you more insights. Do you have any specific questions here before I go to the next slides?
So please feel free to either raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask your questions. Or you can put it on the chat and we can take it up there.
Yeah. Okay. If for silence, I will treat it as no questions as of now. Maybe we'll even it's open. You can, like Mukesh said, you can type it in the chat. We'll take it later as well. Okay. How it as a design, how it is going to work is that we need to define only we discuss so far. Define your closing calendar, which is going to be repeated, and best practice closing process. Somewhere it also needs to be automated. And the automations, IRPA, bot, help, all those things going to become in near future. First thing is we need to define the closing calendar and process it. Once you define the closing calendar, you have to process. The closing may be per month close or half-yearly close or yearly close or annual close. Depends upon the type of close. It may also have the additional task that you have to add in your closing calendar itself. Then one process it. During the process, like we discussed, the integration also happens. Sometimes we may integrate with multiple other systems. Automation also it is there. Once it has been processed, then you can have a monitoring tools. What is the status of the closing? Whether it is completely closed, or there were some error happens, or it requires some approval, some delays happen, whether the particular activity is not started, etc. has been given by way of a monitoring or analytical overview page. I will show in a system when we go for the system demo. Yeah. See, using this solution, what we are going to get is that it is going to increase our profitability because it will give the clear insights. Time is saved. Due to time saving, you can spend towards your decision makings. And also because of meeting the time and other external compliance and all can be met, like GST and all, it needs to be done some specified date. You have to submit your report. Yeah, by using this tool, you can set up a date and time. It will be met the timeline in principally in time, and also it also reduces the cost of closing, and manual effort will be reduced. The benefit is similar like this one only. Maybe this will give the look and feel of how the financial closing look like. In the left hand screen, you can see where we can create a closing calendar with assigned task. And which are the business process area it's going to support is that. So just a second, I want to highlight that. Yeah, these are the business process which will cover part of our closing. This I will also show into the system. And this is the management view. So far we discussed, it will give the monitoring options. Like a CFO sitting in his office, you can see one of the dashboard, which will give the complete closing status overview here. Business value we talked, and directly I'll jump onto the system to give more insights. See, now we can see the financial closing overview. This is the monitoring view or a dashboard for through CFO, or we can call it as a overview screen, which will give the statuses. In the screen, you can see how many is successful, how many is red, how many is failed, which is in process. All those things you can see. Where some cases it requires approval. Some of the activity which requires approval from the manager or higher people come other than the task owner. So it will go for the approval process. Here we can see if it's not approved, it will be showing in that to be approved. Once you approve, it will go here. So this also can be monitored here. You can see in this right lower part of the screen, number of tasks which went with the errors. So we can open this individual item and check what is the reason for the error. And there also you can fix the error. And also you can do the co-piloting, etc. All those things happen. Apart from that, email also will get triggered. Once it is gone for error, the email trigger also will be sent to the respective process owner. As an email trigger. Attachment also can be done. Some notes also can be maintained as a part of this this process. Here you can see the solution, that process completion rate. How much is completed, for which company code it's completed. Here you can go by the filtering options. There are some filtering options given, like a group level or a region level. Also you can see country level. Also you can see company code level. Also we can see. Like this, there are multiple overview options are provided part of this financial closing overview app. Like this, SAP has delivered many apps. You may be knowing that. Or either from the monitoring view or from the operational view also it is there. Just for knowledge sake, I'm saying. Here you can also select, if you have a multiple communication system, which system you want to see, that you can select, and also whether it is for a production or a test task list you can select, and also closing type like we discussed earlier. Which closing type you want to monitor, you select the respective closing type to view the overview page. Company code, select the company code, regions, country, like I said earlier also. You can select which level of hierarchy you want to see your closing. You can see, based on this it will give the output. Okay. Then the next thing what I want to show is that it is easy to define. SAP has delivered some pre-delivered template which contains the template group of task list as a template. Using this one, customer can copy and add their company codes. In addition to the company code addition, they also add additional tasks which specifically meet the customer requirement. What are all app or a activity can be added as a task is that we can add transaction codes. We can also add Fiori apps. A WebDin Pro application also can be added. Background jobs can be added. Added means used as a task. And also customers developed their own Z programs that also can be linked. So these are the way SAP is going to support to build the solutions. How to copy a template. Assume that this is a template delivered by SAP. Once you select, it will give you the copy option. Click copy, provide a new name for your copied one. Here I will say it as a 01. Then click on copy. So now it has been copied. You can see the new one has come here. So do expand. And also click open closing structure. It needs some, yeah. Now it has been copied. Using the template one, the new closing structure is been copied. Here we can see the hierarchy client, then communication system. Wherever customers running globally, they can go to the region like Americas, Europe, then APJ. Under that individual region, you can go by the country. Under the country, you may have a company codes. Like that, you define your hierarchical structure. Under the hierarchy, it will go by the specific business process. Individual process contain the respective task. Like accounts receivable contain a respective task. This is the end node of the hierarchy. This we call it as a task. The task is nothing but like a transaction code which will run. So here we have to say task description and task type, whether it's a Fiori app or a transaction code or WebDin Pro transaction or G program that you do, whether a specific task requires approval or not, can be defined here. And it also some other object in like a semantic objects and semantic action, etc. for kind of transaction it says, and the users and who is the processing user, etc. can be done. If it also it has some dependencies. Before, if I want to do this specific task, it has some predecessor and successor dependency that also can be defined here. Notes, you can add your own notes to with review or to add some comments about this task. You can add by way of a note. Attachment also can be performed. Then email trigger also we can maintain here. Email notification configuration, etc. These things can be maintained here. This is the way the task. I have shown only one task. Like this, we can add all our activities performed during our closing needs to be defined as a closing calendar and upload as a closing structure with hierarchy and define respective roles. The next question may come, okay, I have a task. I have assigned a task owner and how it will be controlled. For that, there is a concept of roles. We need to define a role. That specific role needs to be assigned to the respective processor. That is called user roles. You can manage your users. For that users, you can assign a roles. Based on that role, that a specific access is been given to the specific task. Like this, there are approval closing because few of the steps or a few of the activity may require approval. For that, you can use this app, and that that will be listed out here based on, maybe in this system I don't have that approval list. Once it is there, it will be visible here. You can select and click on this approval. So approval get there's a specific task is been get approved. So next process can trigger based on the dependencies. Okay, here you can see the processing. Initially you define the task list, then you after that you have to process every month. Then you can use this task list based on this processing happens. What are the activity assigned under which is been processed? So once it has been done, you have an option to complete the actions like scheduled, change start, and completed, etc. You can perform using this uh, process list. Once everything is done, you can see the change status. You can, if you want to test run, you can perform a log. You can see the logs of the specific activities, etc. Once this has been done, you can complete the task. Log you can see. For configuration, you can use this app. So those who are having admin access only have a configuration, and this manager and the communication system, etc. can be done. Okay, in the IRP, what we are going to see is that in future, all the task execution and all will be done by the bot. For that, SAP already in for cloud customer, part of 2402, there are some amount of automation is delivered by way of IRP tools. Similar like this, there may be a more amount of IRP also in pipeline in the near future. That's why the solution is built on the BTP platform. Yeah, this is about the IRPA. Yeah. Yeah, I will stop it here. Do you have any specific questions here? Because it should not be one way. We will have it in both the way. Let it be interactive. Do you have any specific questions on this?
So anyone, if you have any question, probably you should just unmute yourself and ask the question. I know you've heard me say this. When there are no questions, there is only one of three reasons. One, you understood everything. Two, you understood nothing. Three, you have questions but are reluctant to ask your questions. Please don't feel shy. This is just amongst us. Feel free to ask if you have any questions. Even if you don't have any questions, if you have comments, please do share. Yeah, Lalit, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to confirm that this app is available for SAP S4 on 2021 with the on-premise version, or
Yeah,
we need to purchase license for this.
Yeah, it may have some license, but it's available for on-premise. For licensing, you please contact with the account manager. They will give you the clear picture how to acquire this. Yes, as an on-prem customer also can use this solution. Yes.
Okay.
I as far as I understand it, there will be some license implications. I think what kind of licensing, what will be the metrics? That's something that you can either talk to Shri, who was on the start of the call, or your account managers, one of those two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, one question. One query from my end. I'm Nikhil here. Can non-SAP systems be also connected with the closing cockpit?
Yeah, we can connect, but the project needs to be taken care of the coding and all, because we need to bring the activity to cloud, the AFC tool. That is a separate project. Yes, can be connected. That's the straight answer.
Okay.
Through APIs, or how does a third-party solution connect to this? And when you say third-party, what kind of solution are you talking about, Nikhil?
So, like, suppose one of the instances on Oracle Financials, like in on-prem FCC, Financial Closing Cockpit, either we used to do via CPS, Central Processing Scheduler, by I think Redwood. So there are, or even in FPC, there used to be options wherein
Yeah, the same
non-SAP
option.
systems can be connected.
Yeah, nickel. Maybe I think these are different nickel. It's I know nickel only. Yeah, that is possible. Some amount of project effort will be involved, like Redwood and Tulia. Also, there is a black line integration. Yeah, this and all. It's there. It's supported.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question for you, Nina. How long does it take to actually implement this entire solution and go live from start to finish?
Say it's if a customer who's having the customer who starts from scratch, that means they do not have any defined closing structure, closing calendar, etc. There they need to spend some amount of time to prepare that closing structure, that closing calendar through Excel sheet. Then they have to add into the system. But in general, let it be any kind of system. If it's a greenfield, means customer do not have anything. I cannot say it will take more than a month or two. Even if it's a bigger, like a global customer also. If it's a global customers, 3 months. If it's a like India market, if it's only Indian R structure, it may not take a month or 6 weeks.
And I'm assuming that most of the customers here on the call would already have some sort of closing sequence that is already running for the past few years. So in that case, how easy or difficult is it to bring their closing process into the system and automate it or to kind of speed it up in a way?
Yeah, it's easy. If they already know the closing structure and etc. has been streamlined, then it's easy because just use Kickstarter the systems, load that activity. They can go within a month also. It will not be very complex process, right? Because everything is predefined. Only all the things are controlled only with this 5 apps. You can see in the advanced financial closing group under which only these five apps going to control. Manage the closing task list and process it. Approval anyway, it's not going to make so much time and nothing is needed also. Then the completion status. So it may not, as a configuration, I don't find it's a very, very difficult or a complex process unless otherwise they do not have any streamlined process in the closing. Yes. But generally, like
And
you said, over
yeah.
SAP customer, they have a structured closing process. So it supports, it's easy to adapt. Yeah.
So a follow-up question is, a lot of SAP customers who are using S4 also are still using SAP GUI as their UI. So is this also available as part of SAP GUI, or is this only Fiori based
Yeah, it
and
supports.
they have to implement it?
Yeah, it supports with the SAP GUI also, but there is the resistant to change should not be there. As a technology goes on, adoption to change is mandate. So as a SAP, I would not recommend use that GUI again. But if they're going for AFC, means you are in the advancement in the technology, use the advanced solution only. Better go with the Fiori and all other IRP parts, etc. is there. Why means in future roadmap and all will be on the automations, all those things will come. That automation will not support for the GUI transaction generally, but mostly will be on the other apps like Fiori apps, all other new UI tools going to be support on the automation. So it's not recommended to go back to the transaction code or GUI steps here. As a support,
I just wanted to kind of,
they can use the transaction code to link with this as a task. Yes, it's possible.
Anyone else has any questions, thoughts, comments?
Mukesh, I'll ask one more. I mean, just as a comparison, since I have worked in FCC. So, Gyana, in FCC, and I mean in S4 or in ECC earlier on-prem solution, the highest node used to be fiscal year based, like controlling area, and some issue used to be there that time with the where the operating concern had multiple controlling areas and then multiple fiscal year variants used to be there. But in case of financial closing cockpit, always the fiscal year variant is the first top node. Then it is assigned to multiple countries. Is the design remains same in the on cloud, like on this particular solution, or there is some change that SAP has brought?
It's similar like that only, but here it supports for the different time zones. Like time zone system can be managed automatically.
Time zone works like MRP.
Yeah.
But the organization structure remains the same as of on.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Any further questions, thoughts, comments? Arif, you have something you want to say something? Sorry. Okay, maybe Jnana, you can proceed with what you wanted to share next.
Yeah, the most of the things I covered, whatever needs to be done. Remaining will be create your user, assign the user roles, and the communication system. It's all one-time activity where the administrator who is responsible for this activity, they can create the user role, and user group, and the communication arrangement and all can be done. Further, the specific app is been delivered. Further, only thing they have to have the admin access. Here also you can see that they created a closing manager and assigned the user who are going to be act as a closing manager. We need to add the users. Before to that, the users should be created in the system like this. The similar way for the roles, also separate role we can create. For the role authorization and task list can be added. This and all not used by the end users or business users. Generally, it is useful for the configurator in common world, or we can call it as administrator. This is about the activities and communication system. Anyway, we can create multiple system to connect and run it. The IRP thing, keep eye on that automation. It will be coming very near future. So that will add more advantage to the business and reduce the time, and manual involvement is very, very less towards that. So with that, I am stopping because the topic is very small, and I given very precise the information. So here I'm stopping it. If no other questions, you can close.
Jnana, I have a follow-up question as well. So considering FCC vis-a-vis AFC, what is the kind of impact that AFC will have in terms of the time that it takes to close the books? So how much faster do you think this entire thing could be, or how much easier? If you can just explain a little bit about the impact that this can have in the entire closing process.
See that FCC AFC comparison, it's like a automated car and gear with a gear shift. So due to that, few cases like advancement in the car, speed it's not changed. Whether I run an automatic car or whether I run a gear vehicle, the speed will not change. But the automation has a more sophisticated features. One of the thing will be in the AFC is that's why I told in the beginning, BTP, it's a clean core. It's built on the best of breed. It will also going to support in the future roadmap of the technology advancement. And one good example is that automations. The automation is going to support more on the BTP side, right? So that will be there. And all our future innovation is going to happen in the AFC. No more we invest on the old FCC tools. Yeah.
All new innovations coming on AFC. So if someone wants to actually look at automation or in the future technology point of view, AFC is the tool to go to.
Yep.
So I have another follow-up question to that, which is SAP is talking a lot about business AI, right? So what kind of artificial intelligence is going to be brought into this to make things even more simpler or faster? Is there any roadmap that currently SAP is working on?
Yeah, there are roadmaps. Definitely more amount of automation will come. That's what I said. One is that task execution. No manual intervention is required to execute the task. In future, the bot is going to execute once we define the process. It's already there. Maybe in 2402, it is available for public cloud customer. And also there are a lot of roadmaps. If you see in the roadmap viewer, by end of 2024, more amount of use cases will be added towards AFC.
Okay. So maybe a question not for Jnana, but for everyone else on the call. I would like to invite anyone who would like to share your current closing process, and if there is any either something interesting that you guys do or a specific challenge that you guys face. You can share that here. Maybe others can either learn from it, comment on it, or maybe help resolve some of the challenges. That's the whole point of having this community, right? So does anyone wants to talk about how you approach closing in your organization? I mean, we're not. So if you want, what I can also do